Hello and welcome, Angela Meiritz-Reid here, Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm making this card that I've created for this week's Global Design Project. It's a sketch challenge. All the products I've used are available at my online store and are listed in the description box below. I've also created a PDF tutorial which is available via my blog, and I'll pop that link in the description box below. I created this card based on one of Martin Stone's beautiful cards. He used this colour combination in a similar layout, so I really liked it and it worked really well for the sketch. So I've got a card base of petal pink and using very vanilla, and it works really well with the vanilla and the pink. So I'm just going to fold that in half. Burnish that along there, and then this piece here, this layer here is very vanilla, and I'm going to use the Merry Melody embossing folder. Just pop that in there, and I'll just bring my machine in here. Try not to bump it too much. Just make sure that's nice and straight in the folder, and then run that through. This makes a really great embossing background for Christmas cards. I think this music. Get out of the way. Yeah, looks really lovely. Right, then next I'm going to pop that onto the card base and just use some dimensionals. I always think it's interesting watching how many people put on the backs of their projects. Some not so many, some lots. So yeah, just for me, I just want to try and spread that across so it's not too saggy anywhere. And then I'm just going to pop that nice and evenly on there. Right, next I'm going to, that needs die cutting, but I might do them all together. So I want to stamp these poinsettia images. So I've got the large one and the smaller one, and I've got the petal pink stamp pad. So I'll just do two, the large ones and one of the small ones. Just move a few things out of the way. And I'll just bring in my little mini machine to die cut these. Just do the circle first. And this is on crumb cake. And actually what I want to do too is do these little tiny poinsettia dies. So I'll just pop those on at the same time. That in and run it through. When you're not too worried about anything moving, I put multiples on to be cut, but if it's something like this, I try not to so much, because if it does move and you have to re-stamp with those, it's not too bad. There's room for movement on those. So, and then I'll just cut those apart, because I do find sometimes if these sort of bits can get on your image, so I don't really want to have to be having dirty images. And just line that up. always tricky. Sometimes it just moves a fraction. Right, oopsie, now that's not, I think that'll move it sort of a fraction. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes it's just a little bit sensitive to getting it in the right place, so I'll run that through. This one. And then run that one through. And lastly the small one. They're really cute, these images. So I just have to keep on twirling it around till I get in the... I did have the other one marked, but I haven't marked this one. Here we are. I'll just run that one through. And that's all the die cutting, so that's all done. And then it's a matter of assembling the card. I'll just bring all my bits in. So I've got my 3 poinsettias and the small 3 die cuts. So what I'm going to do is layer up the circle. So I'll just pop some dimensionals on the back of that. That's about there. And then I didn't feel these needed too much adhering, because I like that sort of feel that there's a bit of movement. You can just sort of bend them up a little bit if you want not to look so flat. And then just tuck them onto the circle. And the small one down the bottom. And then these ones, I did adhere them with a dimensional. Another option, what you could do, is get a glue dot. It's probably hard to see, because and just give it a roll around, and then pop that in the centre of those. That one there, I'll tuck that up top there. So they just roll really well in your fingers, and you don't lose too much tack. Still plenty there. And then pop this one down here. And you can just poke, if you see any of the glue, you can just poke it in underneath. It's not too noticeable because they are clear. And then this last one. And you can do the same thing with those, just to curl them up a little bit. And then we've got some of the linen thread to create a little bow. It's just going to sit about there, so I'll put another glue dot. Out there. It's going to be covered with the sentiment, and I like using glue dots because you can just press the bow into it and it will sort of stay where you want it to go. But you can still, like here, I've just pulled that up and make it a bit tighter, a bit smaller, but a smaller loop. And I'll just pull a bit off, and this one's not curly, and I sort of want to have a bit of a curl in it, so I'll just use my bone folder to create that a little bit. And then I'm just going to do the sentiment, and so I've got a piece of Cajun Craze and I'm going to emboss that. So I've got my Visma and embossing buddy. Stamp that onto there. Oops, that wasn't very straight. Luckily I am going to cut that, punch that out. Hopefully there'll be enough room, we'll see, won't we? Right. Just have to be a smaller margin on that one. So I'll just heat set this, I won't be set. Going to punch that out with my retired classic label punch, which I can't live without. Actually, it's not quite long enough, so I might just, what I'm going to do is just put a bit of adhesive on the back of there, just with a scrap here, just tuck that on there, use that as a wee handle. Line that up, punch that out. I just want to trim those ends off. And then I want to, that's going to sit on there. So I'm just going to put a couple of little half, actually I might just use the smaller ones because I don't want them to be seen. Just tuck that right in that side. There, hopefully that's they're going to be hidden. Just take, I always like to have a straight edge and then go straight up. Hopefully that's, see that, take that off there, and then I might just add a couple more just under here. And they need, it sounds silly, but because that's double, there's a dimensional under there and there, it needs to be a double height. So I'm going to put one on top of the other, take the backings off, and just pop it straight under here. Hopefully you can't see it, it's good. I don't think it matters on that end. And then lastly, I've got, these are the For Everything fancy sequins, and I've got some gorgeous little gold sequins in there, so I'm going to pop them onto here. So I just want one on here, so I'm just going to pop a tiny dot of glue if that's come out too much, one on here, one on here, and then I just want to pop 3 of the little sequins on here, so I'll just put a little hole of glue there, and then I'll use my take your pick tool and just pick out those gold ones and drop that onto that bit of glue that I've put down. Sometimes you end up with extras on there, but that's okay. Sometimes the glue gets on that bit of putty as well. Move that into place. And as you know, the glue dries clear, so it won't be seen. Right, fiddly, but looks pretty when you're done, because it just adds that nice little sparkle in the middle. And that is it, done. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing that card being made, and if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and remember to subscribe if you haven't already. I do a regular video every Monday for the Global Design Project, the card I create for that, and on a Friday I do a Facebook Live on my Facebook page, funnily enough, and all the links for my socials will be in the description box below. So thanks very much and have a great week. Bye.